Hey there, and welcome to Third Power Life. Have you ever been stuck in a rut? Ever feel like your entire life is wake up, go to work, come home, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, come home? It's the same thing over and over again. I know I've been there so many times in my life where it feels like there's no way out. I'm stuck. I'm stuck in this rut, right? So today I want to share, how do we get out of that? So listen in.
So, the big question is this: how are successful professionals like us going to keep increasing our business success and yet still have a full, balanced, and vibrant life that we absolutely love? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. I'm Dan Gentry, and welcome to Third Power Life Podcast.
I grew up on a farm in Dunellen, Florida, and it's fun. If you don't know Central Florida, lots of sand, right? Soft soil. I still remember, learned how to drive in a Ford F-150 on the tree. The gear shift was right up here. If you're old enough to remember one of those, congratulations. But anyway, it was an interesting time, being a kid, learning to drive a truck. And I remember being 13, 14-ish, driving around the farm and trying to go through a gate that was on a curve, and went through and cut it a little bit tight and ended up scraping all the way down the side of the truck on a post as I was trying to go through a gate. It was fantastic. But the interesting thing is the dirt roads that are there that you would get from field to field with, even to the house, after a while, because it's soil, it starts to pack down and you get these ruts, right? And there were places on the farm where, if I was going, not trying to go super fast, I could just take my hands off the wheel and the truck would just go where it needed to go, just following the ruts, go a little bit, but it just kind of bounce on and off. And so I didn't have to do anything. I just cruise control, right? Cruise control farm style. Just let it go. And I would get to where I needed to go without having to do anything. Now, we fast forward a few years since then, and I found myself in my life doing the same kind of thing. On the farm, we had driven that way, that same pattern over and over again till we developed ruts. In my career, I developed that same pattern over and over again and developed ruts. There wasn't variety in my life. It was work, it was home, it was sleep, it was work, right? What was it? SSDD, I think is the acronym, right? Same stuff, different day. And the thing about that is it's easy because you can just take your hands off the wheel, sit back, and let it go. Now, the challenge is that's not going to get you anywhere that you haven't already been. And if you're here, if you're listening to this, I know you want more out of life. I think it was Dean Graziosi. I heard that he had a marketing campaign. It's like, didn't you feel like you'd be farther along by now? Right. And I remember hearing that going, oh, ow. Yes, I did think my life was going to be farther along by the time I got to this point. And I've had that revelation probably 5 or 6 times throughout my life at different times. And so, I want to give you the ability to get out of the rut, because the rut is the rat race. It's not going to get you anything different. I think Einstein's insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So how do we get out of the rut? Well, it starts with making a simple change, right? It's understanding. The first step is understanding that we're in a rut, that our life is just the same thing over and over again. That's the first piece, is that we want more. And that's why, I talk so much about legacy and building your why and what do I want out of my life. Know where you want to go and realize that it's not where you're going, right? I want a little bit more. It doesn't have to be grand, right? It just, I want a little bit better life. Well, it's not, if I were driving the truck on the farm, it's not, turn the wheel, right? It's just a little bit. All it takes is a little bit of a change to get out of that rut. So many of us, we want better physical health. We want, better financial health. We want a better family life. We want more time with our kids. And it starts with taking small actions. Yeah, there are so many times in our lives, in my life anyway, that I realize if I want to make a change, that it's got to be some grand act. It's got to be a big action. It's got to be something massive, right? Massive action plan, right? And the reality of it is that success is small. It's the small things done consistently. And that's why, I've got a whole program about power rituals. What are the rituals? What are the habits that we have? And it takes just a small change in those habits, right? So you want to get out of the rut. What rut are you in, right? Is it the rut of not eating well and not taking care of your body and not exercising, right? Do a small action. One of the things that I'll tell people sometimes is do a sit-up. One, just one. That's it, right? Take some time that, before you go to bed or when you wake up in the morning, that, you know what, I'm just going to do one sit-up. We can all do one sit-up or one push-up, right? Walk around the block one time. Make it something so stupid easy that you absolutely can do it, right? Now here's the deal. Many times we do one, it's like, you know what, I could do 3 or 4. The other day I started on my kind of getting back into shape after, I put on the COVID-15 or COVID-20, whatever it is. And so I'm like, all right, I'm getting back in shape. The gym is back open now. And I tried to do some sit-ups and some push-ups and it was not pretty. Okay. But I made the commitment to myself that I would do something every day, even if it were one push-up or one sit-up. Make it simple, stupid simple, right? And do that. And that little tiny change, it's taking the wheel on the truck and just going that much, not it, just a little bit. Now, here's the thing. If you've ever driven on a dirt road, when you start going a little bit of a different and you're trying to get out of the rut, there's a little bit of a bumpy spot where it's trying to get over that hump, right? So realize that there are some bumps there, and that's okay. That, in the very beginning, there's going to be a little bit of resistance to leaving the rut, and be prepared for it and know it's there, but just keep doing your little actions, just a little bit. And eventually you clear the rut. And here's the deal. That little turn of the wheel in a week, in 100 feet, not much of a difference. But by the time you go a mile down the road, a year down the road, as it were, you're in a completely different place. So the little turn, it doesn't take much to get out of the rut, just a little change. Whether it's, if it's financial, put 25 cents away a day, right? A nickel a day away. Do some change, put it in an investment, box, get like a piggy bank and just put whatever you've got left over in your pocket, whatever, a quarter, $1 or whatever. And when it gets to a certain amount, then we invest it. And now we have started on our path for our investment, our financial future. We do a sit-up a day. We've started on our fitness journey. We turn off the TV for 10 minutes and read a book to our child. We've started that family journey. Pick a date night to go out with your wife. You've started on that relationship journey. Simple little step. That's all you need to do. And I'm doing it right now. Getting back started doing my podcast was just do one little thing. Just record it, right? And what's funny is when I decided to come back, I found I already had 2 in the pipeline that I had kind of started before. I just had to finish them up, send them off. Done, right? So it's little things. So here's what I want you to do. I want, pause this, whatever, and commit to one thing that you will do, whether it's a sit-up, whether it's putting a quarter away, whether it's, texting your wife right now that I love you. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be huge. Actually, I specifically don't want it to be big. Don't try to say, I'm going to, write a chapter of my book that you haven't started yet. No, if you're wanting to write a book, write the title, right? Do something so stupid, simple, small, and let it grow from there. All right. So, and I want to hear what your one thing is. I would make my day. If you're watching this on YouTube, put it in the comments. If you're, listening to a podcast, send me an email, info@thirdpowerperformance.com. You can tag me, take a screenshot of this and tag me on Facebook or Instagram @thirdpowerperformance. It'll come up here in the end screen if you want to see it. But just do the action and let me know what you're doing so that I can help you on this journey, so that I can, say, go team, go, right? Nothing gets me more excited than helping you. That's why I'm here. So, all right, until next time, keep living your life to the third power.
I'm glad that you enjoyed this podcast. I'd love to hear what you got out of today's episode. So if you could please take a screenshot and share it to social media and tag me @thirdpowerperformance on both Facebook or Instagram, @thirdpowerperf on Twitter. I would love to hear how it's affected you. And I would love it if you would subscribe. You can click the button right there, or to get more episodes, you can look at our featured video right here. And you can also check us out at www.thirdpowerperformance.com.